You want me to? I'll do it later. But get your cameras out later. But you can have your cameras out now too. Okay. But I'm going to do Garon Eyes later on.
All right.
But later on. Anyway, this is actually you're working in on a rehearsal between myself and J.G. Hertzler, but J.G. didn't get on the plane, but Vaughn Armstrong did. Woo!
I got a roamer, huh? And you got, is that a roamer too? Okay, all right.
So, anyway, our rehearsal has to do with something we're probably going to do tonight. We're probably going to do this
Tonight, so it might be a little messy, but it's the first time Vaughn is ever doing this. And so I'm going to go over it really quickly with him.
You can see that down there.
No, I can't. Do we have a taller kind of chair or something?
Oh, you flip the pages on.
Wait a minute, I see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of these glasses and stuff.
We'll do a Klingon thing.
We're going to do a Klingon thing, yeah. Just mess up everything, yeah, cool. Oh, yeah. Klingons forever, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is perfect.
That's good.
Okay.
Or
Here, have some water.
7 years ago.
Okay, you ready? Don't step off the stage.
You
Okay.
start here, right?
Okay, I start here.
Okay.
And then we go right to the next page.
You gotta see him,
Okay.
J.G. do this.
Okay.
This is very good.
Now listen up. Everybody asking us what is the matter. The ratings, the action, even the bids are getting flattered. It's a Klingon, baby. The Klingons. Ain't no Klingons, baby. We're the Klingons. Now that Enterprise is running new episodes of shooting, ain't no ridge on the bridge, so they're starting out losing. Trick without Klingons? What could they be thinking? Wine without blood, it ain't even worth the drinking. If there's a problem, yo, we'll resolve it. You kill them all first, that's the only way to solve it. It's a Klingon, baby. The Klingons. Ain't no Klingons, baby. We're the Klingons. Claws on the boots, we always be in fashion. They go crazy when they see the passion in a Batman. Gotta see a little slaughter. We are the sun.
And now don't forget the dollar.
Bring on the Klingons. No others needed here. Garon, Martok, and the men you love to fear. Beta, Lursa, Kor, and Brother Wolf. Honor and glory, you'll stick you metamorphs. If there's a problem, yo, we'll resolve it. You kill them all first, that's the only way to solve it. It's the Klingons, baby. The Klingons. Ain't no Klingons, baby. We're the Klingons. Founders, Dominions, even a Tweaky Borg. Ain't nothing next to us.
Who won that freaking war?
If there's a problem, yo, we'll resolve it. You kill them all first. That's the only way to solve it. It's the Klingons, baby. The Klingons. Ain't no Klingons, baby. We're the Klingons. If there's a problem, yo, we'll resolve it. You kill them all first. That's the only way to solve it. It's the Klingons, Brandon. We won't be very far. It's the Klingons, Ricky. You can find us at the bar. We out. You want to try a little Shakespeare?
Yeah, we'll do a little Shakespeare.
Do Shakespeare, man.
We happen to know the same speech.
Yeah. We were doing Shakespeare once together. And we found out we knew the same speech. So it's like what are they called? Bookends or what? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's like we're actually twins. We're twins. Yeah.
Only he's from the Irish side of town. I'm from the Polish side.
It's strange. My book is a very strange book. I have Beyond the Fringe, Good Evening. I have all sorts of Edmund. Oh, I've got.
This is a smart man.
Yeah,
See, unlike me, stupid but deep.
I even have stories about Martok. That's what's really weird about this. And I have plays. It's really fascinating what I have in here. But anyway, how does that we dream things true?
Dream things true.
True.
Oh, you're talking about Queen Anne?
Oh, then I see
Queen Anne, I've been with you.
Oh, she's a fairy's midwife.
And she comes in shape no
Bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep.
Her wagon spokes are made of long spinners' legs, the colors of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's pin. The whip of cricket's bone, the lash, the wagoner, a small
Grey-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot as an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel. Rub, rub, time out of mind, the fairies coachmakers. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains. And then they dream of love. Oh, courtiers who dream on currency straight, or lawyers' fingers who strike cream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which off the angry man with blisters plagues, because with breasts with sweet meats tainted. Sometimes she drives us over a soldier's neck,
and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats,
of breeches, of biscottos,
hell's 5 fathoms deep,
and then a nun
drums in his ear,
which he starts and wakes and being thus frightened, swears a prayer to and sleeps again. This is that very man that plats the manes of horses in the night and bakes the elf locks and foul slottish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is a hag when maids lie on their backs that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she. True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, which woos even now the frozen bosom of the North, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his head to the dew-dropping south. Well, that was a hoot and a holler. You know, it's just fun to get two actors on sometimes that you discover things about each other that you didn't know. And Vaughn and I started working together a couple of years ago. And he's great. He's just fabulous. It's a lot of fun. Can somebody help me move the table back?
Watch out for that.
How now, my good fellow?
Yes. There we go. He always create some problems. Anyway, this is supposed to be a Q&A, so I'm going to get right to the Q. And I'm not an A. Anyway. Yes, questions? Yes.
Well, let's start with the MacGyver.
I played a East German in MacGyver in the days of where the split was still there. And so I love to do accents, and I got to do a German accent, and it was a lot of fun to do it for me. Probably if you ever saw it here, then you wouldn't see the accent, you know. So somebody else did the voice. Oh, really?
It's subtitled here.
Oh, so you did? Oh, great.
Unless it's for children under 8.
It was probably a terrible German accent.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, okay, it was an American version of a German accent, I'll put it that way. But it was really a lot of fun. It was really a fun role to do. It was a nice role to do, too. I mean, and we went to the same university at different times. I'm older than he is, so, but by a little, yeah. And so I had a great time. It was a fabulous shoot. The director, I forget the director's name, but he's also a Star Trek director. So I got to know him on that shoot, and it was a great time. I really, and there was a young lady who was on it who's since done very well in the business. And that was one of her first shows too. So, and she was very talented. So I had a great time, and he, you know, Anderson's great. You know, he's a very nice man. Good. Thanks. Other questions? Oh, you're doing the camera. Okay. All right. Well, I tell this story. So at the end of the story, get your cameras ready. I don't need two of them, but.
What are these characters called? Andorians.
You know, this is great. You don't get them together. They get close and they don't go. Yeah. Yeah. Andorians. Andorians. Oh. So I tell this story about how I got my job. Now, JG, I know, has told you his story. And my story is very sort of about how we got to play Garon and how he got Martok. But you've heard of how he got Martok. Well, my story is sort of similar. The guy who always seemed to hire the Klingons, or was good at hiring Klingons, was Jonathan Frakes. You all know who he is. But he was there at the audition, and everybody was there, and I came in, and my agent had said, they want you for a role on Star Trek. They want to read you for a role, and they said it's something about a Kling something. And I went, a Kling something? Now, I'm an original fan of the original show, and if you had asked me back then what I wanted to play, I would have said a Klingon, because I love doing bad guys, and Klingons are the baddest guys in the universe. And rightly so. And so they said, he said, yeah, it's a Kling something. And I said, could it have been a Klingon? And they went, yeah, maybe. Agents. So I got the script, I read it, it was a Klingon, and it was like, I'm not really a nervous actor at auditions. I just have never been nervous at auditions. I just go and do my job and get out. But I was nervous about this because I really wanted the job of a Klingon. I wanted to be a Klingon, you know, more than anything I've ever done, you know, in acting. And so I got the script and they wanted us to read 2 scenes, and I went, God, there's such different scenes. Once, you know, was a gung-ho Klingon, you know, just screaming, raving, lunatic Klingon, which I was used to, being one myself at home, and asking my dogs. And the other one was like a really thinking Klingon. It was the same character, but totally different scenes. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to make him Machiavellian, very, you know, thinking Klingon. Very smart Klingon. And so I went into the audition and I did that smart, you know, Klingon, and just took my time with it. And I looked up and everybody was asleep. And I knew I had lost them. I know the feeling. So what I did was, get your cameras ready. So what I did was, I turned around and I said, I have to go for it. And I just went. And this was the really, you know, the gutsy, crazy scene. So I turned around and I went, ah! 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 Oh! Who are you? What they did was, they peeled Berman off the ceiling. And Frakes was in the corner going, and then he went back to his chair and he went, that was interesting. It's good. Very interesting choice you made there. Could you read the first scene over again? And I went, sure. And I thought he thought I was going to change it to that way, but I know I went back and I did it exactly the same. And then he saw what I was doing. I think he knew that I was doing a really Machiavellian guy in one sense, and then the other one was, you know, crazy Klingon. And so he knew I could do both. When we got to the set, he said, I'm glad you're here. That's great. I want you to do the Klingon with your eyes the whole time. And I went, what? Because, you know, we don't look at ourselves, you know, and I didn't know I was doing the eye thing. I was just angry and doing the scene. And he said, the eye thing, you know that thing you do with the eye? Where you go? And I said, no. And he said, "Oh no, not one of those actors." And I said, "Well, do you mean when I get angry, my eyes kind of pop?" And, and I went, "Well, yeah, you mean like this?" That's it! That's it! Do that the whole show! So that's how that happened. He was funny, and it was great. He's really a wonderful director. I worked with him quite a bit. I worked him on, I think, 4 shows, and actually the CD-ROM, which I include as a show, but it went on for a very, very, very long time. We shot about 15 days straight. You know, it was just, my skin was yuck by the time it was over. Anyway, more questions? Any more questions? Yeah.
And Heathrow, you told a story about you meeting a basketball player on the airport.
Yeah.
Can you tell us?
Sure. I was. I'm a big Laker fan, or I used to be. I'm not so much anymore. But the old Lakers, with Magic Johnson and all the old guys, and James Worthing was a favorite of mine. And one day I was in an airport, and I was getting on the plane, and I turned around and I bumped into somebody's kneecaps. And anytime you do that, you really don't have to look up, because you know he's a major basketball player. There aren't a lot of them, and you know, the kneecaps in your face. You go, oh, okay. So anyway, I got on the plane, and I saw that it was James Worthing. And so I went, that's interesting, okay. How can I get a James Worthy autograph? I really wanted one. And I went up to him and I said, "Hi, Mr. Worthy, hi, how are you?" And he said, "Hi, how you doing?" And I said, "Do you watch Star Trek?" And he went, "Yeah." He smiled a little bit. You know, yeah. And I said, "Do you like Star Trek?" He said, "Yeah, I love it." And I said, "How do you feel about Klingons?" He went, "Klingons. They're my favorites. I love Klingons." And actually, this is pretty good right here. He said, "Yeah, I love Klingons." And I said, "You like Gowron?" "Gowron, he's my favorite Klingon." And I went, "I'm Gowron." He went, "You ain't Gowron." And I said, No, I'm Gowron. It's me. I'm really Gowron." "Prove it." And I thought to myself, how can I prove I'm Gowron? What's the answer? That's right. It came to me. I went, "Ah!" He went, "Oh man, you really are Gowron." "Ah, hey, it's Gowron! Gowron's on the plane!" So we traded pictures. That was fun. Anybody? Yeah.
How and when did you find out that Gowron was going to be killed, and what did you think about it?
How did I find out Gowron and what did I think about Gowron dying? Is he dead? I thought it was Star Trek. No. I'm an actor, and it was like, and that meant 3 jobs. 3 shows, and it was the very end of the series. So I knew going in, when they brought me back to Deep Space Nine with Worf and I had that argument in the beginning of Deep Space. It was like in the middle of Deep Space Run, but when Worf came on and I followed, I knew right then and there my days were numbered. I knew and I was just surprised they let me go to the very last show, so that was great. So I did expect it. You know, what's the half-life of a Klingon leader? That's the way I always thought of it, you know. I got 9 years, and I didn't like the way he was killed because I thought it belittled Worf, and I sort of argued with him a little bit because it was dishonorable the way he killed me. And see, the way it should have been is I should have forced him into a fight. You know, he said, you know, he should have had a line, I will not kill the Klingon leader in a time of war. You know, because that was not allowed. I mean, that you go into dishonor if you do that. And the next leader would. So Martok is like now dishonored because he accepted this, you know, the robe at a time of war. And it would have been very simple for them to fix that, you know, in a rewrite of just saying to me, you know, just drive him until he has to fight. You know, just he won't have a weapon, and just go to crunch him a couple of times, and then he'll struggle with my bat'leth, and then he'll go get his own bat'leth to only make him survive, you know, so he can survive, you know. But they didn't do that. They had him willfully kill me, you know, which I thought was like, I didn't like that, you know. Because I'm really a Klingon at heart, you know, and I take it seriously. I wanted the Empire to go on in perfection, you know. So that's the only problem I had, but I knew I was going to buy it sooner or later, and it was okay. Because I got 3 jobs out of it. It was great. Insurance, pension, fabulous. Anybody else? Yeah.
You said you were a big fan of the Klingons from the original series, so how do you feel about all the ridges in the hair they have now? What can you tell us about that?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of Klingon secrets, and that's one of them. I'm glad you brought that up. It's little known, but in the days of Roddenberry writing, you know, that the Klingons during that era, they had, do we have any Klingons here? Yep. Yeah, come on up, come on up. We'll have to show them that there was a prohibition on alcohol during the Roddenberry years. And there was, and so they didn't have the bumps in their heads. But what happened was, the Klingons then changed the law so they could drink blood wine again, and alcohol. So you go this way, and I'm going to go that way, okay? So what happens is, the Klingons would drink, glug, 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 put down their glasses, and what would they do? And that's why the bumps. Thank you. I got all these wacky ideas. I got to, you know, and then, but the really bad one is, you know, they said the thing with the what was it? The triples. You know, everybody knows what the triples are. And Worf has the famous line. What does he say? He says something like, "I don't want to talk about it," or something. Is that what? Anybody remember the exact line? What?
Embarrassing story.
We don't talk about that. And I am not a merry man. That's my favorite line in all of Star Trek. I am not a merry man. Sitting in a whirlpool tub. I mean, that was just too much. Anyway, so, but the triples, going back to the triples. So, he won't talk about it, nobody knows about it, but I'm going to tell you the secret right here and now. What happened was, there were just too many triples, and they started getting in everywhere. So we had to go to war with them. And we defeated them on the field in this great battle. And then we had all these dead triples around, and so we decided to eat them. Well, the entire Klingon fleet, armada, the Black Fleet, ate all the triples on that battlefield. Well, things led to another thing, and what happened is we got hairballs. You understand hairballs? Cats get hairballs from eating the, yeah? And you had 300,000 Klingons on the battlefield going, yes, it was a bad day for Klingons. Yes. The History of Klingons, written by Robert O'Reilly. The Secret History of Klingons by Robert O'Reilly. J.G. writes his book, and I'll write mine. But anyway, that's my version of what happened to them. Any other questions? No, come. Come, like that? Okay. And now I'm getting really suspicious, and I said, what's the name of your game? He goes, come. Now, okay. What is the name of your game? Name of game? Poke, eye, boom! Boom! Right in my eye! The name of the game was Poke Eye. And he poked me in the eye. I had to go to the hospital. I had a bruised cornea. Children, boys, and maniacs. I got broken doors and broken walls and windows. My wife says, you really should fix the windows. And I said, no, it's a good teaching tool. Every time they come in the house, see the window, I say? They go, ooh, yeah. No break window, no poke eye either. Anyway, thank you very much.